This year, I'm going to be using a model of blended learning in my science classrooms. So I wanted to create this quick video kind of introducing you to what it is and what it will look like in our classrooms. First, let's talk about what blended learning is. It combines the traditional face-to-face instruction with work done online. Every student has different learning needs, and when you have a classroom of 28, it can be difficult to meet all those needs at the same time. So I really think that this model will help me do that. It also has students taking responsibility for their own learning. It helps them understand what they're doing, why they're doing it, and what it will take them to next, what the plan is. It also lets every student work at their own pace. Some students, it's like a direct line. They understand it, they move on. They understand it, they move on. Other students need more. They need small group. They need to see it, to hear it, to do it. There's so much more involved in the learning process for them. And the ultimate goal is the end of the maze, or concept mastery. We want them to understand the concepts. So the path for every student is not the same, or it may not be the same, but we want to get every student to that point where they're understanding the concepts, where they can show their learning. Just how they get there may be a little different. It also creates an engaging student-centered environment. There's not a lot of downtime with this. They're involved in what they're doing, and when they're done, they can move on. If they need more, then we stop and I work with that student or that group of students to give them what they need. So the blended learning model that we're going to focus on this year is rotation. So there's 4 different parts that will go into that. Station rotation. Students are familiar with this model. There's different activities. There's choice involved of what they do first, what they do next. And sometimes they're in groups, sometimes they're alone. It just depends on the activity. Then we have the lab rotation. Sometimes with labs, students don't understand the content enough to be successful with connecting the hands-on lab with the content knowledge. The goal with the lab rotation is to make sure that every student has the background knowledge they need to understand, to make that connection from hands-on to and concept knowledge. The individual rotation is where formative assessment will come into play. Students will be doing activities which then show me what they understand, what they don't, and that way I can meet every student's needs throughout the process. And then we'll also be using aspects of the flipped classroom. The flipped classroom takes that whole group lecture type of teaching out of your face-to-face time. I'll be using videos. So whenever we start a new concept, I will create a video explaining that concept, which will then be put on the website. Students can watch these before coming to class, definitely, but they don't have to. I'm not going to assign that they have to watch this video. So when they come to class, if they've watched it, then they can start working on the hands-on, working with the concepts type of activities. If they haven't watched it, then that's the first thing they'll do. These also come in handy for students that are absent or students that just need to review. I've asked my students last week, how do you rewind or review a lecture? And they said, well, we look at our notes, we look at our journals, but they can't really rewind me if I did a lecture in class. So this helps them go back and watch it as many times as they need to gain understanding as they review for tests and things like that. It also helps you as parents understand what we're doing and what the concepts are that we're going over in the classroom. So there's many benefits to this model. First of all, the students' in-class time is spent doing. They're constantly working on different types of activities that are helping them gain a better understanding of the concept. It increases my one-on-one interactions with the students. It teaches important technology skills. It increases collaboration. It helps me build relationships with the students. It helps me get to know what they need and how they best learn, which again also helps me meet the needs of all learners. So how am I going to accomplish this in my classroom? The incorporated online part will be using Google Apps for Education. Every student will get a Google Drive login. where we can collaborate and they can collaborate with each other. Also, we're going to utilize our BYOD. We do not have an overabundance of technology, and with the number of students in the building, we will have to utilize what we have effectively. But I also want students that if they have their own device and you allow them to bring it to school, I want to use those. The great thing about the Google Drive is it is online, which means students can access their work and their documents from any device with an internet connection. We'll be using the flipped learning videos, learning contracts, which will kind of outline where they are in the process and where they're going. This will also help create flexible classrooms. I like to call it organized chaos. When you walk into my classroom, you are not going to see everyone doing the exact same thing at the exact same time. And you're going to see some students working alone, some working together, some working with me. The key to make this successful is communication. Not only from me to you, but it's important that the students talk to me and let me know when they're struggling, what's not working for them, what is working for them. But also you as a parent, when you have questions, comments, concerns, bring those to me. This is only going to work if we can all work together. And I want the students, if something is not working for them, I want to be able to fix it. And I talked to them last week about if they can't tell me or they don't know, come talk to me anyway. We can work through it. We can find a way that works for them. And you as parents know your students better than I do. And so maybe you can give me feedback. What might be working, what doesn't work for your child. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know. If you still have questions about the method or how I'm going to incorporate it in my classroom, please let me know. We can set up, I can answer your questions in an email. We can set up a phone conference. We can set up an in-person conference. I've spent a lot of time researching and training to put this into effect in the classroom, and I'd be happy to explain it in more detail for you. The phone number and extension, that is my phone extension, but I'm a traveling teacher, so I'm not in a room for more than one class period usually. So you can leave a phone message there, and when I do get to that room and I listen to them, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But email is, I can access anywhere in the building. So if you want a phone conference or in person, you can email and we'll set that up. Okay? If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you.